Good morning, dear friends. It's such a joy to meet you all in this new year. Wishing you all a bright and a prosperous new year. May God bless your families and keep you a blessing wherever you are placed at. For today's meditation, I was thinking about the topic making excuses. When I was thinking on this topic, I remembered an article that I read written by John Piper, wherein he was telling that excuses are nothing but cheap exchanges for the confession that we need to make. Instead of confessing, we bring in these cheap excuses. So it is a strong word, but then we need to imbibe it in our lives. Yes. So I just want to bring in two characters from the Word of God. One is Aaron, and the other one is Saul. Aaron, when he was confronted by Moses of why he made the golden calf, he immediately told an excuse that it was Moses' delay from the mountain, coming down from the mountain, that made him give in to the pressure of the people of Israel. Okay, so here Aaron was given the authority to say no, and he could have easily said no. There need not have been a delay in giving that strong but firm response to the people of Israel. But then he himself gave in to their pressure because he could not stand firm on what he was called in for. So sometimes our excuses are like this. Instead of being convinced of our calling and the stand that we need to take in this world, what we do is we consider the delays that we face in our life's situations as an excuse to fall into the temptation of peer pressure and do actions that are not falling in line with the purpose that God has for us. So let's watch out for that. So delays in certain blessings that we are looking for in our life should not be an excuse for moving away or getting diverted from what God has for us. The second person is Saul. Saul, he also went ahead in performing the sacrifice, okay, which he was not meant to do, which he was not called to do. He had to wait for Samuel to arrive and then go ahead. But then Saul was in such a hurry that he ended up doing what was not required of him to do. And he very clearly knew that it was not it was not given by God for him to do. He very clearly knew that it was Samuel's role given by God, and he committed a known sin. He committed a known sin very deliberately and very adamantly. So here another thing that we see in his life is his pride made him to do that. So sometimes in our life, our pride should not force us or force us to go headlong and commit deliberate sins in our life. And for making that deliberate sins, we should not consider as an excuse what is not considered as an excuse, what we do not get done at that moment of time. So we need to be very careful about certain delays and denials in our life. The situations should not force us to consider these delays and denials as an excuse for us to delve into what is not ordained for us in our lives. So let's wait for God's timing, and He will definitely come to fulfill what He had planned for us in our lives. Nothing that He had planned for our life, He has failed to fulfill. and we all have experienced that. So, as God says in Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, "For I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you." So, let's completely look to the Lord who has called us out of darkness into his marvelous light to live a priestly life for the glory of his name. So, thank you all. May God bless each and every one of us.